The moment the doorbell rang, she felt it. That quiet shift in the air you cannot explain. The kind that tells you something ordinary is about to change. Maya wiped her hands on a kitchen towel and glanced at the clock. It was just past 6 in the evening. Her husband, Adam, was still adjusting his jacket in the hallway. He looked relaxed, almost cheerful. "This must be Daniel," he said with an easy smile. "My old classmate from college." Maya nodded and returned the smile. She had heard Daniel's name only a few times over the years, always spoken casually, never with emotion. Adam opened the door and Daniel stepped inside. He was tall, calm, and carried himself with quiet confidence. His eyes were observant, almost gentle. They exchanged greetings and Maya welcomed him warmly. Nothing seemed unusual at first, just a friendly visit, a simple dinner. Yet as Daniel stepped into the living room, he paused. Only for a second, but Maya noticed. His gaze moved slowly around the room, the framed photos, the soft lighting, the carefully chosen furniture. Then his eyes settled on Adam. Something unreadable passed across Daniel's face. Not surprise, not judgment, something closer to concern. Maya felt a strange chill. She brushed it off immediately. People notice things differently. It meant nothing. They sat down and conversation flowed easily at first. College memories, old professors, stories that made Adam laugh. Maya listened, smiling, sipping tea. Daniel laughed too, but less loudly. His attention drifted back to Adam often, as if he were studying him. Adam didn't seem to notice. He was animated, happy to reminisce, comfortable in his own world. Maya leaned back, watching the two men. She had been married to Adam for 7 years. She knew his expressions, his habits, his moods. And yet, sitting there, she felt something was off. Not with Adam, with the way Daniel looked at him. Dinner was ready soon after. They moved to the dining table, passing dishes and sharing small talk. The food was warm, the mood polite. Daniel complimented the meal. Then he asked Maya about her work. His voice was kind, respectful. But even as he spoke to her, his eyes flicked to Adam, again and again, like he was waiting for something. Halfway through dinner, Daniel set his fork down. He smiled softly, but his voice changed. "Adam, can I ask you something?" Adam laughed. "Of course, as long as it's not about our final exams." Daniel smiled back, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Do you feel happy?" he asked. The table went quiet. Not awkward, just still. Maya looked at Adam surprised. Adam blinked, then chuckled. "That's a deep question for dinner." Daniel nodded slowly. "I know. I just noticed something." Maya's heart skipped. "Noticed what?" Adam shrugged. "I'm married to a wonderful woman. I have a good job, so yes." Daniel held his gaze. "For real, though," he said gently. "Not the answer you give everyone." Maya felt her hands tighten in her lap. This was unexpected, too personal, too sudden. Adam shifted in his chair. "I think I am," he said less confidently. "Why do you ask?" Daniel leaned back slightly. "When I walked in, I saw someone who looks settled," he said, "but not someone who looks at peace." The words hung in the air. They were calm, but they landed heavily. Maya forced a small smile. People said strange things all the time. It didn't mean they were right. Adam laughed again, but it sounded thinner now. "You always were the dramatic one," he said, analyzing everyone. Daniel smiled apologetically and lifted his hands. "I didn't mean to offend. Old habit." Dinner continued after that, but something had shifted. Adam spoke less. Daniel observed more. Maya tried to keep the mood light. She asked about Daniel's life, his travels, his work. Daniel answered politely, but briefly. His focus kept returning to Adam, like a puzzle he could not ignore. When dessert was served, Daniel declined. He checked the time and stood up. "I should get going." Adam walked him to the door. Maya followed, feeling unsettled. Her chest felt tight for reasons she couldn't explain. At the doorway, Daniel paused and turned back. He looked at Maya now, really looked at her. His eyes were kind, but serious. "You've built a beautiful home," he said quietly. "Just make sure it's built on truth." Maya froze.
Before she could ask what he meant, Daniel smiled and left.
The door closed softly behind him. The house felt quieter than before, too quiet. Adam didn't speak right away. He stood there, staring at the door, as if Daniel had left something behind. Maya watched her husband carefully, 1,000 questions pressed against her lips, but she said nothing. Because, deep down, a small voice whispered something she didn't want to hear. What if Daniel hadn't been wrong? If you're enjoying this story so far, please like the video and subscribe for more heartfelt tales. The silence lingered long after the door closed. It wrapped around the room like a soft fog, heavy, unspoken. Maya cleared the table slowly. Plates clinked, chairs shifted, normal sounds trying to fill an abnormal quiet. Adam stood by the window, hands in his pockets. He stared out at the dark street, not moving, not speaking. Daniel seems thoughtful, Maya said carefully. Her voice sounded calmer than she felt, almost casual. Adam nodded without turning around. Yeah, he always was. She waited for more, an explanation, a joke, anything, but nothing came. Maya carried the dishes to the sink. Warm water ran over her hands. She focused on the routine. Inside, her thoughts raced. Daniel's words replayed again and again. Not at peace, built on truth. She glanced over her shoulder. Adam was still at the window. His reflection looked older somehow. Did what he said bother you? She asked, gently, not accusing. Adam exhaled slowly. A little, he admitted. Not in the way you think. That made her pause. She dried her hands and turned to face him. What way do I think? He finally turned around. His smile was tired, the kind that tries to reassure but fails. He always noticed things others missed, Adam said. Back in college, he'd ask questions no one wanted to answer. Maya crossed her arms lightly. About grades or life? Adam hesitated. Life, he said quietly. The words settled between them, large, unavoidable. Maya sat down at the table again. Adam, she said softly, we don't usually have guests question our happiness. He gave a short laugh. No, we don't. Another pause, this one heavier than the first. Maya felt her chest tighten. I am happy, Adam said suddenly, too quickly, as if convincing himself. Maya didn't respond right away. She studied his face, the lines around his eyes, the tension in his jaw. I didn't say you weren't, she replied, but Daniel noticed something, and you didn't deny it. Adam looked away again. His fingers tapped against the window frame, a restless habit she knew well. I guess I've been tired, he said. Work, expectations, the usual. Maya nodded slowly. She wanted to believe that was all. She really did. But Daniel's voice echoed in her mind, settled, but not at peace. The words fit too well. Later that night, they lay in bed side by side. The room was dark, quiet except for the hum of the fan. Adam faced the ceiling. Maya turned toward him. Do you ever feel like you're playing a role? She asked softly. Like you're doing what you're supposed to do, not what you want? Adam's breathing changed, just slightly, but she noticed. Why are you asking this? He murmured. She swallowed. Because tonight felt different, she said, and because I know you. He closed his eyes. For a long moment, he said nothing. Maya waited. I don't know who I'd be if I stopped, he said finally. The words were barely louder than a whisper. Her heart ached at the honesty. She reached for his hand. He let her. We can figure it out together, she said. You don't have to carry everything alone. Adam squeezed her fingers. I don't want to disappoint anyone, he said. My parents, you, even myself. Maya turned fully toward him now. You could never disappoint me by being honest, she said firmly. Silence hurts more than truth. He didn't answer.
but his grip tightened slightly, as if holding on. The next morning, Adam left early for work, earlier than usual. He kissed her forehead and smiled, but his eyes were distant. Maya spent the day distracted. Daniel's visit replayed in her thoughts. His careful tone, his final words, built on truth. That afternoon, her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Short, polite. "Hello, Maya. This is Daniel. I hope I'm not intruding." Her heart skipped. She stared at the screen for a long moment, then typed back, "It's fine. Is everything okay?" The reply came quickly. "Yes."
I had just wanted to apologize if my words caused discomfort. Maya hesitated, then decided honesty mattered. They raised questions, she wrote, but maybe ones we needed. There was a pause, long enough for her nerves to spike. Then another message appeared. "I saw something familiar in Adam," Daniel wrote, "something I once ignored in myself." Maya's breath caught. Ignored? What did that mean? She stared at the phone, thumb hovering over the screen. Part of her wanted to ask everything. Another part was afraid of the answers. Before she could respond, another message arrived. "If you ever want to talk, I'm here. Not to interfere, just to listen." Maya set the phone down slowly. Her hands trembled slightly. This felt bigger now. She looked around the quiet house, at the photos on the walls, at the life she thought she understood. For the first time, she wondered if love alone was enough, or if truth was the part they had been avoiding. And somewhere deep inside, a question began to form. What was Adam not saying? And how long had he been silent? The message stayed with Maya all night. Not the words themselves, the meaning behind them. Daniel had seen something, not just once, not casually, something familiar enough to reach out. The next day passed slowly. Maya moved through her routine on autopilot. Coffee brewed, laundry folded, emails answered. But her mind kept circling the same thought. What was Adam hiding from himself? That evening, Adam came home later than usual. His shoulders sagged as he stepped inside. He looked worn down. "Long day?" Maya asked, handing him a glass of water. Her voice was gentle, careful. "Yeah," he said, rubbing his forehead. "Meetings that go nowhere." They sat on the couch together. The television played quietly in the background. Neither of them watched it. Maya took a breath. "Daniel messaged me," she said softly. Adam stiffened, just for a moment. Then he nodded. "I figured he might," he said. He always had trouble leaving things unsaid. Maya studied his face. "He said he recognized something in you," she continued. "Something he once ignored in himself." Adam leaned back and closed his eyes. A long exhale escaped his chest. "That sounds like him." "What does it mean?" she asked. Adam opened his eyes and looked at her. Really looked. There was no humor there now. "It means he saw me pretending," he said slowly. "And he knows how dangerous that can be." Maya's heart pounded. Pretending. The word echoed. "Pretending to what?" she asked. Adam hesitated, then looked down at his hands. "To be content with a life that looks right," he said slowly, "even when it doesn't feel right." Maya reached for his hand again. This time she held it tighter. "Is it our life that feels wrong?" she asked. "Or something else?" Adam swallowed. "It's not you," he said quickly. "Please believe that." She nodded. "I do. But that doesn't answer the question."
He squeezed his eyes shut. "For years, I told myself this is what happiness looks like," he said. "A stable job, a marriage, a plan." "And now?" Maya asked. "And now I feel like I'm living someone else's dream," he admitted. "Not mine." The words hurt, but they didn't feel cruel. They felt honest. Maya leaned back, absorbing it. "So what is your dream?" she asked quietly. Adam laughed softly, not with joy, with uncertainty. "I don't know anymore." Silence filled the room again, but this time it felt different, less tense, more raw. I think Daniel noticed how tired I am of pretending, Adam continued. I used to talk to him about it in college, before life got loud. Maya blinked. You never told me that. I was afraid, he said, that if I said it out loud, I'd have to face it. She nodded slowly. That's fair, she said. But avoiding it hasn't made it go away. Adam looked at her with gratitude. Thank you for not getting angry, he said. I was scared you would. Maya smiled sadly. I'm scared too, she admitted. But anger won't help us understand each other. That night, sleep came slowly. Maya stared at the ceiling, listening to Adam's breathing. Steady, uneven. She thought about the early days of their relationship, the way Adam used to talk about possibilities, not just plans. Somewhere along the way, those conversations had faded, replaced by schedules and responsibilities, by comfort. The next afternoon, Maya received another message from Daniel.
I hope I didn't cross a line, he wrote. I just know what it's like to wake up one day and realize you've been quiet for too long. Maya stared at the words, then typed back. You didn't cross a line. You opened a door. Daniel replied a moment later. That door can be frightening, but it's also freeing. Maya set the phone aside and looked out the window. The sky was soft with late afternoon light. Change felt close now. That evening, she shared the messages with Adam. He read them slowly. His expression softened. He's right, Adam said quietly. I stopped asking myself hard questions. And now? Maya asked. And now I don't know where the answers will lead, he said. That's what scares me. Maya took his face gently in her hands. We don't have to know everything right now, she said. We just have to stop pretending. Adam nodded. A small weight seemed to lift from his shoulders, not gone, but lighter. Yet even as honesty began to surface, Maya felt it. This was only the beginning. Truth had layers. And some truths, once spoken, demanded action, not just understanding. As she lay beside Adam that night, her heart was full of hope and fear, because the question was no longer whether something needed to change. It was what that change would cost them both. The shift between them was subtle at first, not dramatic, just quieter honesty. Maya noticed it in the mornings. Adam lingered over his coffee instead of rushing out. He asked how she slept, really asked. At night, they talked more, not about errands or plans, but about feelings they had buried. Still, something hovered between them, unfinished, waiting to be named. One evening, Adam came home with a thoughtful look. He set his bag down and sat across from Maya. I ran into Daniel today, he said. Maya's heart skipped. By accident? She asked. Adam nodded. Near my office. We talked for a while. Maya kept her voice steady. What did you talk about? Adam smiled faintly. Life. Regret. The cost of silence. He leaned forward, elbows on his knees. He told me he spent years, he said, and how empty that felt. Maya listened closely. Did he tell you what changed? Adam nodded slowly. He stopped lying to himself, he said. Even when it meant disappointing people. The word disappointing echoed in the room. Maya felt its weight. She had carried it too. I'm afraid, Adam admitted. Afraid that if I keep searching for something more, I'll lose what I already have. Maya reached across the table. Searching doesn't mean leaving, she said gently. It means understanding. Adam looked at her, eyes full. You've been incredibly patient, he said. I don't deserve that. You deserve honesty, Maya replied. So do I.
That night, Adam shared something he had never said aloud. Not to her. Not to anyone. He admitted he had chosen his career to please his family. That he stayed because it felt safe.
Predictable. I kept telling myself contentment was enough, he said, but I miss feeling alive. The words trembled as he spoke. Maya felt tears rise, but she didn't interrupt. This mattered. I don't want to wake up one day resenting my own life, Adam continued, and I don't want you to feel like you held me back. Maya shook her head. I never want to be the reason you feel trapped, she said, but I also don't want to be left behind. Adam took her hands. You won't be, he said firmly. Whatever this becomes, I want you with me. The promise was sincere, but uncertainty still lingered. Promises were easier than decisions. Days passed and the tension grew quieter but deeper. Maya noticed Adam researching late at night, reading, thinking. One afternoon, Daniel messaged again. Has Adam told you what he wants? He asked. Maya hesitated before replying. He's still figuring it out, she wrote. Daniel responded thoughtfully. That's the hardest part. Knowing change is needed, but not knowing its shape. Maya stared at the message. What did you choose? She asked. The reply took longer this time. Long enough to make her nervous. Then it came. I chose truth, Daniel wrote. It cost me comfort, but it gave me peace. Maya's chest tightened. Peace sounded beautiful, but costly. That evening, she shared the message with Adam. He read it silently, then set the phone down. I don't want peace if it means losing you, he said. Maya met his gaze. And I don't want comfort if it means losing you to regret. They sat in silence, holding hands. Both statements were true. Both felt impossible. Later that night, Adam spoke again. I think I need to make a change, he said quietly. Not tomorrow, not suddenly, but intentionally. Maya nodded. What kind of change? He swallowed. One that brings me closer to who I am, he said. Not further away. Her heart ached, but she smiled. We'll take it one step at a time, she said. Together. Adam leaned his forehead against hers. Thank you for staying, he whispered. But as Maya closed her eyes, another thought crept in. Staying might be the easy part. Letting go of the life she knew could be harder. Because when someone chooses truth, everything else must shift, including love. And as dawn approached, Maya wondered quietly, would their love bend with the change? Or would it break? Change did not arrive all at once. It came softly, in choices made with care. Adam started by speaking honestly at work. Not dramatically, just truthfully. He asked for flexibility. He explored paths he had once dismissed. Nothing reckless, nothing rushed. Maya watched him closely. Not with fear, but with quiet hope. At home, they created space for conversation. Even the uncomfortable ones. Especially those. Some nights were heavy. Questions without answers. Silences that asked for patience. Other nights were lighter. Laughter returned. Not forced. Real. One evening, Adam came home with a calm smile. Not excited. At peace. I turned down a promotion, he said. One that would have kept me stuck. Maya's heart raced, but she nodded. Are you okay with that? He sat beside her. For the first time in a long time, he said, yes. Weeks later, Daniel visited again. This time, the air felt different, clearer. They sat together, talking openly. No tension, no unspoken thoughts. Daniel looked at Adam and smiled. "You look lighter," he said. Adam laughed softly. "I feel it." Daniel turned to Maya. "You gave him room to hear himself," he said. "That's rare." Maya smiled politely, but she felt it too. Something had changed. After Daniel left, Adam held Maya close. "I couldn't have done this without you," he said. "I know that now." Maya rested her head on his shoulder. "Just promise me one thing," she said, "that you'll keep choosing truth, even when it's hard." Adam nodded. "I promise." Life didn't become perfect, but it became honest. And in that honesty, they found something deeper than comfort. They found understanding. They found peace. Sometimes, all it takes is one honest observation, one unexpected visitor, one brave conversation, and everything changes.